to order the regular meeting of the Village of Cache Creek this May 4th, 2026. First of all, I would like to offer my congratulations to Sue Peters, who got elected as Director at Large of the Southern Interior Local Government Association recently. I don't see any delegations, so there won't be any business arising from delegations. We have the minutes of the regular meeting of April 20th. Could I have a motion to adopt as circulated?
So, second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Is there any business arising from the minutes? Seeing none. Committee reports. Economic Development. Councillor Dubois.
Nothing at this time.
Budget Administrative Services, I would move that we approve Municipal Clerk Heidi Roy to be given signing authority for all financial purposes within the village, subject to the village's bylaws, policies, and procedures to be effective as of tomorrow, May 5th.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you. Carried. All those in favor? Look, it's unanimous. Thank you. Now, I only got half of my agenda document, so I've got to read off this tiny little one. That's all I could get out of my printer. Bylaw, oh, do you have a page 2? How wonderful is that?
I needed to make my motion.
Bylaw and policy review, Councillor Ranta.
Okay, so item number 1, I'll move that the minutes of the Bylaw and Policy Review Committee meeting held on April 21st, 2026 be adopted as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, as you can see, we're moving forward with our work, and I think we have a meeting scheduled later this month.
Thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Next, Councillor Renta.
Item number 2, that I move that council give first, second, and third readings to bylaw number 2-023, 2026 5-year financial plan.
Second.
Any discussion?
I would like to have a presentation, and we should have had it on the agenda, but we kind of forgotten about that.
That's okay. That's great.
Were you the secretary or Dave?
Dave.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Okay, presentation. So we have worked really hard to create a budget, and hopefully it's a pretty good budget where we were able to put some funds aside in reserves. But let's start with the beginning.
Press F5.
F5? Why?
Maximize it on the screen. Press function F5.
Yeah, I did.
Function.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Bingo.
Well, I learned by something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so talking about budgets, the next slide is about the components of a tax notice, because pretty soon everyone is going to receive that in the mail, and I just wanted to kind of summarize what you are going to see on the tax notices. The yellow highlights are literally the levies that are going to stay within the municipality of Cache Creek, and all the other levies are going to be submitted to other authorities: school tax, policing, hospital, and the TNRD. The property taxes, as I said before, the municipal levy is village revenue, so is the water and the sewer frontage, and all the others are going to be remitted to other authorities. The taxes payable, or the levy, is comprising of the tax rate times the assessed value divided by $1,000. And the assessed value as a component is based on the assessed value that is created by the BC Assessment Authority based on a formula they have on the properties and the market value of the properties. and the assessed value went up about 1% from 2025, with the residential up 1.4. The tax rates are determined internally by the council to generate a balanced budget to comply with the community charter's requirements. I would like to talk about some constraints that we face. Right now, we all know that from south of the border, we have faced lots of tariffs. As well, we have the inflation rate that was set as of 2.6% as of March 2026, even though the municipalities, I would say they don't use that inflation rate. That's mostly for individuals. We have other criteria like construction materials, fuel, and other that determine that inflationary rate for government. And also, the fuel costs are up due to the Iran war that is ongoing and other conflicts. Okay, other constraints are the utility prices that went up about 6%, the insurance is up 15%, worker compensation 2%, and then we have the prices that went up due to tariff and fuel costs. If sometimes we can buy them because inventory is low and sometimes takes a while until they are being delivered. So we all face that constraint. And also the major constraint is the aging of infrastructure that requires a lot of capital upgrades. Then we have the environmental uncertainties. So far we were lucky this year. We didn't have floods, knocking wood. The fire season is upon us. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we are not going to have any major event this year, but just to kind of say what happened in 2023, which was a major year, we spent in responses alone about $800,000, and we are still working on recovery. So far, we spent about 6.7 million, which approximately 10% is covered by the village. Also, the water consumption continues to increase, and now with the drought season and also the spring and yard irrigation, it really went up. So those are constraints. Anyways, hopefully that we are not going to have a 1,000-year rain event soon. I just want to touch a bit on the 2023 freshet recovery because we have completed several projects. Like everything that you guys see in green is the project completed. So far the cost of those projects is around $7 million. And so far in 2026, we are committed to fulfill like 2.7, almost $2.8 million, out of which $274,000 will have to be covered by the village. Yeah, and this is a slide for what's coming, hopefully not. We have some weaknesses in the community, having a small tax base. Yeah, it's really hard to really balance the budget. We have outdated infrastructure. We still have a bit of reliance on external sources of revenue, but we are moving away, so which is great news. And then we have a lot of business and industrial diversity. However, we have lots of opportunities. There is the residential development to expand the tax base. We have business opportunities in the downtown core. We have undeveloped industrial zone properties, and we have commercial properties held vacant that could probably be developed. And now I'm going to talk about our operations. We, as a municipality, we ought to use the fund accounting, which we have to separate the general operations from the water and sewer, and then the reserve that have to be maintained according to the law. Within the general fund, we have the administration, the public works, the garbage collection, and the maintenance of the streets and roads, protective services, recreation, and emergency operation, and the transportation. The water is dealing with the delivery and the infrastructure, treatment of water, and sewer with the collection of the waste treatment and the waste treatment, yes. The reserves, they comprise statutory reserves, which is the perpetual care fund, restricted reserves based on council decision, bylaws adopted by the council, and the non-restricted funds that are the landfill legacy reserve that can be used for anything, but again, it's up to the council to determine where to allocate those reserves. Just want to show a historical perspective of our accounting. The revenues are comprised of municipal taxation, sales of services, licenses, permits, penalties, external sources like the royalties from the landfill, and government grants. And historically speaking, we start doing much better with our revenues, and the landfill started producing more revenue for us, and we are therefore being able to build up reserves now. For example, the reliance on the landfill revenue is compared to other reliances like the real property taxation is at 25% in 2025, and the municipal revenue is 29%. So the royalties are about the same size as the taxation. For expenditure, we spend within the village on protective services, parks and recreation, transportation, water and sewer, and also on capital projects. And so we had the general admin. We can see that, for example, in 2023 we had a spike, and that's mostly because of the freshet, and other than that we are pretty constant in our expenditures. For the water operation, we started breaking even, and now we actually produce more revenue, bringing more revenue that is going towards reserves for the water repairs and infrastructure. Same for the sewer. Again, we see in 2023 we had a major spike here, damage done to the sewer plant that we are trying to fix, and we still have now, we are past the break-even point, so we can start setting reserves aside. The financial plan, based on our community charter, we are required to present a balanced budget annually, and so in the agenda, the council is going to have our recommendation, and here are the revenues that are projected for the next 5 years in taxation, and then transfers from other funds, from reserves and revenues, and all up to about 11 million this year. And as we go further in time, the uncertainties of kind of forecasting are diminished. So once we get closer to these years, obviously these figures are going to be revised. And so is in expenditure. We have capital expenditure about $5.5 million, and then we have the general municipal, the water, the sewer, and then the transfers to reserves. And again, we balance at 11.1 million. I'm going to restate that the taxes payable are tax rate times the assessment divided by $1,000. And I want to point a few items of note in our financials for this year. The council committed to set aside $371,000 to the general reserves. Also, we are completing the water quality assessment. We are committed to upgrade the lighting in the fire hall. Pretty much the rest of the community is upgraded already. the fire hall is the last on the list. To upgrade the washroom in the park. We plan to add more storm drainage on Sandlin Drive, fix the parking lot at the Lower Community Hall, purchase a new salt spreader to help us with maintaining the roads during the snowfall. Set aside $25,000 for the coverall reserve to help out the incoming council to deal with the coverall. And a major point is we plan to acquire a new garbage truck this year. And again, the tax rates, once we recommend them, they are going to be adopted by the council to generate the balanced budget. And the mill rates, which we propose, are 3.55% increase just to keep up with the inflation and the rising cost of fuel and so on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, once the importance of a balanced budget is that if we don't pay for spendings with the current taxes, we are going to end up paying for it through future taxes or informal inflation. Question and answers.
Any questions? Councillor Dubois.
Can I get CFO Martini to maybe comment on the light industrial tax rate? I noticed that there's something fairly significant there.
Yes, we are trying to balance the industrial rate. Let me just go back to that slide. Historically, the industrial rate was very high, and because of that, many organizations that should have been classified as industrial were classified as business just to have the protection of let's say, not going out of business, and therefore I think the community has lost on levy just because of the misclassification of some organizations. So we are going to recommend that we bring the light industrial more aligned to the tax rates that are out there in the province. And once we are going to be there, we can probably now able to go to this assessment and request reclassification of those other businesses that are in fact industrial, light industrial.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Christina? I just have one. Did I hear you say that the assessment went up 1.4%
For residential.
for residential?
Yeah.
And is this 3.55% on top of whatever increase we
Yes.
get from assessment increase?
Yeah, so the aggregate increase is going to be 5%.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on the 5-year financial plan? I don't think we had a motion to give it first, second, and third reading yet, so, or did we?
Yeah.
We had that already?
Councillor and
Any further discussion, any questions, any comments? Seeing none on the motion then, all those in favor? Opposed, carried? Carry on, Councillor Ranta.
Okay, item 3, the council give first, second, and third readings to bylaw number 2-024, tax rates 2026.
Second?
Discussion? I can't support this in any way. I don't see the necessity for it. We certainly had the lowest taxes of any community in the Thompson-Nicola Regional District 7 years ago, and it's increased by more than 50% since then. So I can't support a further increase of 5% at this point, so I'll be voting against it. Any further discussion? Councillor Ranta?
Well, just to, I'd like to just state that I think that it's a pretty modest tax increase based on the inflationary pressures that we're facing, and also the uncertainty of the tariff situation and rising fuel costs. And the village uses a lot of fuel, a lot of power, and a lot of gasoline and natural gas. I think that it's nice to see that we've been able to reduce the tax rates compared to other previous years, like for the last 7 years, I believe. This is actually the lowest tax increase that we've had. And okay, so 0, okay, so it's not 7 years, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
But I think it's really nice to see that we're kind of being able to put some money towards reserves, and personally, I'm very pleased with how things turned out this year.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
We're gonna turn it over to,
Or are you gonna do this?
for the next
Yeah.
2.
Councillor Peters?
I would move the council give second reading to bylaw 6-011-2026 official community plan.
Second.
Any discussion? Councillor Ranta?
Okay, so I had a lot of discussion at the last meeting when we talked about the community plan, and I noticed, it was hard to track the changes from the last edition to this edition, so I wonder if maybe, the administrator could just highlight the changes that were made from our first discussion to today. And
I can.
I have a couple of areas I'm a little, like, if you wanna more, sort of trim in the conversation to a little narrower scope. So, I did notice an addition about the definition for support. I thought that was great. And, yeah.
That was a big one. And I'm going to quickly go through, because I got a list of notes. There's a lot of language cleanup, some definitions changed, like you mentioned. There was a lot of discussion on trailer parks, mobile homes, modular homes, and properly characterizing each of them. Changing some of the wording on trail development along water courses. Bunch of little text tweaks.
Updated photos.
Photos were updated, yep, that was a big one. Some language for archaeological site protection was changed just because currently that's being reviewed by the province. That was a substantial, there was more than that, but I apologize, I don't have a
That's okay.
definitive list here.
Councillor Ranta?
The one item that, I wondered about, and it's not a deal breaker because it would be a huge effort to implement on behalf of business, was the concept of having the businesses, in the downtown core, close to the property line, like the front of the business, and the parking at the back. So that would be something that, if this goes through, that would be considered to a planning of a new business, a new build. And that would be something that the village would advocate for the project, for a future project, right?
So I can't remember where we landed on that one with do you happen to remember offhand, Gary? Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah,
but
no,
you
that's
walked
okay,
in the
it's
door.
okay. I know. I had my list too, and that's one I didn't have on my list, but I knew it was a topic. It was my understanding that we backed off on that somewhat, because what we heard from council was, the idea of having it set up that the parking should be behind the buildings wasn't really what council was looking for. They wanted sort of the status quo. So I thought the language was changed to accommodate that and not push for the parking in behind.
Yeah, I know it was a topic of conversation, and I think that I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
have
that
the
there was
page
changes
number.
to that effect.
When I read the agenda today, I'm pretty sure that it still reflected parking in the back.
Okay.
So
To
that's
the
my
back or to the
question.
side is what I
Okay,
read.
okay.
And if I may,
Councillor Peters?
after we had that discussion, I kind of paid more attention driving through town, and though the only businesses really that are set back are the delivery, like Chevron, Husky, and Petrocan, the buildings are set back, but it's because the mainstay of their business is in front of that. So really, if you looked at the whole picture, not just the building, they would be set to the front. And most of them do have parking to the side. There's not a lot that have parking out the front, other than maybe Annie's, Hungry Herbie's. The rest are our side. So I think we're, in a way, we're already kind of there, but I think it would be things like if a new fast serve like Tim Hortons, when they came in, if they had been on the main grid, then the encouragement would have been to have their building set forward with the parking at the side. Again, sometimes that's limited by the landscape of the property, like the shape of the property, those kinds of things. But, you know, when you kind of look around, if you look at what's here already, we are sort of following that already. Yeah, I didn't think that the wording had changed substantially on that one.
Any further discussion on the official community plan, second reading?
In the agenda, or? Oh, you said 33. Well.
Page 33, I think it was a P.
Cross access between site landscaping, highway oriented use, intent, accommodate audio oriented.
It was under village core mixed use.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Sorry, page 32, my apologies.
There we go. Pedestrian services.
4.3.5.
Surface parking areas in the village core should be located behind buildings or on the side. Whereas I think before it had a lot more of the, like, distinction saying everything has to be close to the road and that sort of thing. This is now just saying preference to the side or
Okay.
behind.
Yeah, I noticed some change.
If I may, the village core is a very small area, right? It's just the main
Yeah.
intersection. It doesn't really represent the majority of the other commercial on the highway for what it's worth. So there isn't too much more in terms of redevelopment in the future anyway.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried?
Oops, I have to go back.
I have to go back too.
Now, is it Councillor Peters or
Yeah,
Councillor
but I have to get
Ramsey
back to
doing
where
5?
page, because I gave you my sheet.
Oh, here, do you want it back?
Just to make the motion, then you can have it again. Spirit of cooperation.
Together we're better.
Yeah, I would move that council direct staff to prepare for a public hearing regarding bylaw number 6-010-2026 zoning bylaw and bylaw number 6-011-2026, the official community plan to be held at the beginning of the regular council meeting on June 1st, 2026.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. On to Public Works, Councillor Liebert.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. And then we have Healthcare and Protective Services, Councillor Ranta.
I move that council receive and file the report provided by Councilor Ranta regarding the most recent HAWK meeting.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Emergency Management.
Well, I guess this kind of goes in both of them, but I would just like to congratulate our volunteer fire department on fire, I was just trying to look, it's Firefighters Celebration Day, so I was just trying to look it up real quick. But we have a very active and community-minded fire department, and we're very lucky to have them. I would just like to thank them for all their service.
Thank you.
And even though I have flashbacks when Jonathan walks in the room, there's nothing happening with emergency management.
It's even the right time of year.
Right.
We were just commenting on it.
The last 2 times we're not quite this calm.
On to Parks and Recreation, Councillor Ranta.
So, I move that council receive and file the minutes of the Park and Recreation Committee held on April 21st, 2026.
Any discussion?
Just, to discuss
Councillor
that,
Ranta?
the committee has been, reviewing a variety of solutions to the coverall and was assigned by council to, bring forward a recommendation, and the committee did not decide on a particular recommendation, but it feels that due to the costs and just the kind of substantial size of the coverall issue, that it should be delayed until a new council is elected and they have the opportunity to review all the information again and make a decision.
Thank you. On to, did we move the minutes of the Parks and Recreation Committee meeting?
Moved and seconded.
We need to vote.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Landfill Advisory Committee. I think the last meeting I reported on the in-person, on-site get-together we had with the Landfill Monitoring Committee. There is a meeting coming up later this week or next week. Later this week on the 7th of May, Monitoring Committee Zoom meeting. So I'll report on that at the next council meeting. Yes.
I've noticed that in the recent months, we've had a couple of fairly significant fires up in the landfill. I'm wondering if there's any opportunity in those meetings to have a discussion what the current status of that is, if they've got any understanding as to why, and if there's any sort of change that might need to happen.
Thank you. I'll bring that up with them. TNRD and Intergovernmental Liaison. I would move that council receive and file a report from the TNRD regarding the proposed Kamloops Search and Rescue Hall.
Second.
Any discussion?
I would
Councillor
just like to
Peters?
say this is very encouraging. Search and rescue units in the province receive very little funding, and a lot of the time and energy and fundraising is done by the KSAR members themselves. We have personally in our area used them a number of times over the last few years, and I'm very happy that they're getting some attention.
Yeah, I agree with you. Any further discussion? Administrator Couture.
A big part of why this is on the agenda for council information, because the TNRD is going through an alternative approval process. They very much want to make sure council specifically are informed. They asked if I could bring this information to you as soon as possible. And so if you have any questions about the process, the procedure of either the process or the actual implementation, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and I can put you in touch with the appropriate contacts. A big part of this process is they want to ensure that the public's informed, and they recognize that a way to do that is through the area councils. So they know that you will very likely be out and about talking to people in the community, and so they encourage you to speak about this project and hope that you will.
Thank you. Anything further on the search and rescue hall? Councillor Ranta?
I'm just curious if it would be helpful to indicate support by like writing a letter or something, because it is a really great thing, I think. Like I'm not an expert on the design of the building or what needs to occur in the building and that, but I'm really happy to see it. I want to show some support. I don't want to give money, but I want to show support.
You're gonna give money
Yes,
whether you want to or not.
Right. Would it be helpful to write a letter of like saying that we're excited about the project?
Administrator Couture.
I don't think it would be a bad thing to write a letter, and additionally, some direction to share that letter or the contents of on social media that council has in support of this project in general, because then that informs the public as well.
I would move that we forward a letter.
Motion.
You have
Yeah.
motion. Sorry.
So we've got the receive and file motion on the floor. Any further discussion?
I would amend the motion to include at the end of the motion, and that council, write a letter indicating their support and excitement about the project.
I'll second.
Shall we consider that a friendly amendment?
We're all good with that?
I think we will. On the amended motion, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. On to Cache Creek Community
Thank you for
Fund.
coming.
Thank you.
Councillor Dubois,
Nothing at this time.
thank you. Information correspondence, we have one incoming from the ombudsperson and one outgoing to the Ashcroft District Lions Club. Could I have a motion to receive and file the information correspondence?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried? And is there any new business?
I think we need to set up a time for a special meeting for the budget adoption.
Financial plan.
Public presentation and perhaps fourth and final reading. Any recommendations?
I defer to staff on timing.
We can send something out this evening and you can all let me know.
Okay, any other new business? Seeing none, are there any questions from the public? Not seeing any. Questions from the press?
Nope.
We have need of a closed session pursuant to section 90.1 and 90.2 of the community charter. Could I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried? Brief break. Come back and